Previously on Unsolicited.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you're logged in right now watching the Unsolicited Security Boss, we would like you to have some tools in your hand, and in your hand we would like you to have a notebook, a composition book, something to write on and something to write with. She's dropping jewels. This is $1 million worth of information you're getting for free. If you want to send a cash app, please send that. If you want to donate some money, please go down there and give money down to the bottom of the screen. Unsolicited Security Boss, back at you.
Black man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I couldn't have paid for a better commercial.
I tell you, I'm here. I'm here for it all. I'm here for it all.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And guess what? We also got another co-host tonight. This is Miss Miss Amateur Barkeep. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
So listen, guys, we're going to have a good time tonight. You already know what the topic is. We're going to get back to that in just a minute. But first, I want to welcome some people for being here. Let them know that we love them. We love you over here at Unsolicited. And I wanted to make sure you guys are giving a thumbs up as you come in. And I got Sir Hale in the house. Hey, Sir Hale. Bethany. Hey, Stephen Day. Eugene Steele, hello guys, and all of the others that are not in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. And I'm gonna give Black Man and Amateur Barkeep an opportunity to shout out their channels. Make sure that you all are subscribed to their channels and make sure you're following them and getting this good stuff that we're putting out here. So go ahead, Black Man. Amateur Barkeep, you go ahead.
Oh my, okay. You can check out my YouTube, which is Amateur Barkeep, spelled the exact same way. Don't be there long. I don't have much going on right now. But if you're interested, please check out my Instagram. And I'm just now learning TikTok. I'm like an elderly person on there, so I'm getting the rhythm of things. But check me out. I just love mixology and drinking. You know, that's a political way of saying it correctly without sounding like a lush. But yeah, just check it out and let me know if you got any recipe ideas or things you'd like to see, and let me know what you think.
All right. Y'all heard that. A good way of being a drunk is what? A lush? I like that. We can do that because we're over 21. Now listen. Anybody under 21, that advice is not for you. So just over 21. So we got a money line song. Look. That's the money line song. That's funny. So anytime that you hear that song, we're going to be shouting out a super chat. Cedric Carson, thank you so very much for your $4.99 super chat. But that's the money line song. So if you want to hear that song, go ahead and drop a super chat. All right, here we go again. Peter the Investor, thank you for your super chat. Here comes your money line song. Black man, you ready up there?
I am ready. I don't know. Well, I said, what's going on with this mic? Oh, be good.
All right. Y'all got to get that beat. The money line song. So when anything gets hot around here, y'all, somebody's sending a super chat so we can calm it down with the money line song. You can't fight through the money line song, right? So, Miss Anderson, Akia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Good evening to you too. Big Bad Bull. Hello. Peter the Investor, thank you so much for being here. So listen, we're just going to touch on the subject a little bit right now, but we're going to get into it. Everybody knows tonight we're talking about the negative and positive of child support. Black man, is there really a positive to child support? I want to hear your opinion right now.
In most cases, I would say I plead the fifth in any other circle. However,
you plead the fifth?
No. I say in other circles, I would say I plead the fifth. You gotta know who you're around. But however, I think the way that it's put, the way that it's advertised, no.
Okay.
or the ways that you can get it, but we'll get into it.
We're gonna get into it. I just wanted to get the masculine energy's opinion first, just so we can like set the atmosphere. I want to see how hard my job was gonna be to, get some points up. It's gonna be hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God. So amateur barkeep, you ready for this? Because it's us. We gotta put some smiles on these men's faces and let them know that we behind them, we supporting them.
Yes,
so we gotta make a word. Harrison family, hello. Thank you for being here so much. Listen, guys, we're gonna get to a good part of the live tonight, and we're gonna definitely open up the link. And any of you that want to share some stories, definitely come in and do so. And make sure you're hitting the like button as you come in. We'll definitely appreciate it. But before we get started, Black Man Unfiltered, you got something you want to share with us? I'm just so taken back by it. I don't even know what to think. I don't even want to show the video. I mean, I would show the video, but you showed the video and I just couldn't I'm about gagged on the video. But I want you to share this because we need to know what people are doing out here. And one thing I didn't hear you say is, was there a scripture behind this incident?
Yeah, he was talking about how Jesus healed the blind man with spat and dirt.
Okay, can you say that once more? Your mic kind of went out.
Oh, no. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. So he basically said something about Jesus with the, how Jesus spat. And when he spat in the dirt, that's what the Bible says. When he spat in the dirt, he took the dirt and made it a clay and put it over the blind man's eyes. And the blind man was able to see. It was a miracle, right? And so he said we're more focused on the spit rather than the direction. And so Pastor Mike Todd, everybody knows him. He's a celebrity pastor. He took a big old loogie of spit and spit it into the center of his hand and rubbed it together like it was Jergens. And he went up to the man and started wiping the spit on the man's face. And not only that, the spit started falling off his face like drool.
Hold that thought. Cedric Carson again. He gave us a super chat. 999. Wait for that money line song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the chat. Thank you. Black man, turn your noise gate. All right, so let's read this super chat. And Black man, turn your noise gate down on your mic a little bit. It's cutting you out. So Cedric Carson says, as a childless Black man, I really feel for other Black men having to put up with tens of thousands of dollars to fight ghosts. The system really is fixed and it's time to get into the toolbox. I agree with you. I don't think that any man should be a part of any system. So we're definitely going to talk about that. Chicago Rilla, not the Mike Todd. Yes. So continue your story, Black man. But wait a minute. Let me set the stage because you already said. But first question: this was not a Black man he was dealing with, right? I mean, excuse me, a blind man.
No.
Okay. So he was just trying his miracle. He was just okay. He rubbed it like Jergens, and then what did he do?
He rubbed it all over the man's face. He said, "Look," and it was just dripping off his face. Oh.
So what happened next?
The man sat there and just looked at him, and the audience was like, "Oh, he said, look at the audience, see what they thinking? They're worried about this when they should be worried about where it's taking him, where the miracle is taking him." Oh, Doc. I mean, I'm out.
It was gross.
Oh, you saw it too, Amateur Barkeep?
I did. And if I remember correctly, he set it up saying that following Jesus' instructions can get nasty.
Yeah.
I just kept hearing the word nasty.
Yeah.
And
he said. That's what he said.
He
my goodness.
in his hand twice. Don't get me started, but yeah.
Listen, I just wanted to share that because that's off, y'all. That's really off. He was not being led by the Spirit. And I'm so glad that the man had such composure and discipline. Well, it didn't look like it was fixed in any way, but could we be deceived? Could we have been deceived by the video?
No.
He apologized later on.
He apologized later on for being so. He said, "You know what, guys? I really see it how you guys see it."
Well, let me share something with you because I think I shared it with you, Black man, that I was too in a church where a pastor wanted to demonstrate a Bible verse, and that one was turn the other cheek. And he had a woman up there. He smacked that woman so hard he almost knocked off her feet.
Ooh.
He did. Yeah. Really, it was a real. All the men gasped because they all wanted to run to her defense, and it was just like, what do you do? What do you do? My husband and I literally ran out the church because we just didn't know where it was going to go to next. It just was so foul that it was like, I cannot believe you did this.
Yeah.
Just to illustrate a point, and it was so foul. Chicago Real Estate, that was just nasty, and it was. Now, Janae, hello. Awesome Dre, hello, Corey. Thank you for being here. Hello, everybody. So listen, guys, we're going to get right into this because I know you all are very excited, and I want you all to give your opinions and your knowledge of things that you know about the situation as far as the child support system, because I definitely want to hear it, because I'm always that person that wants to give some information to men that betters the situation, because, okay, we can't do anything about the system. Would you all agree?
Right.
It's there. I mean, I'm saying we can implement some things to make it better, but it's there. It's already been created and it's there. Am I right?
You know why it was created. So we'll talk about
that. Okay, you want to talk about that real quick? Why was it created? You still kind of breaking up a little bit.
Oh, is it better now?
Yeah.
So I think it was created simply because it's to make money. If we look at the statistics and look at the numbers in Georgia alone, last year, $2.3 billion in child support fees for the state. They're making money.
So tell me this, because I want you to hook us up to what's going on when you say the state is making money. Who are they making money off of? Or who's part of that demographic, not demographic, who's part of that part of the child support system that they are making money off of? Is it everybody that's a part of it, or is it just individuals that the state or the county is actually taking care of? Is that everybody or just that portion?
I think it's the government as a whole.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah, I think if you take a group of people and you say, listen, I can turn this, and I'm gonna just get deep with it. If I could take this woman, the black woman is the strongest unit you could probably see. They support their men, they support their children. We need to get rid of that. We can't have that. And so we'll create a system that will take us back to the days of Willie Lynch and turn them against each other. And we'll use that system to destroy the black family, but also not just destroy the black family, but to make them hate each other. Make the black man, and the black woman hate each other. I could get deeper, but it's just the surface, I guess, we're at right now.
Okay. You know what? I had the honor of talking to a representative today from child support enforcement or the child support system. I did not ask her how they make money or all of that. I didn't get into the back part of it because I was more so on check-in to see how all men, our men, whomever, didn't have to be a part of this system. Or if you found yourself being a part of the system, how can you make this system work for you? And that's what I was checking into, because for me, I heard everything you said, black man, but I'm more on the accountability piece. And I want every man and woman to be accountable for what we do from the beginning. So whatever we got to do to not be a part of that system, the prison system, the system that takes your driver's license, the system. I mean, it's just so many that we can find ourselves being a part of. If we're not accountable for what we do, then it's ridiculous. So the child support system is the one that we're talking about today. And should we start off with the negative? Well, you mentioned many negatives. Okay, can you give me some more negatives?
Ooh, where do we start?
Barkeep, you can jump in this at any time. What do you even view as a negative part?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Anytime.
I mean, well, I don't have children, so I haven't had any personal experiences with it. I've just kind of heard horror stories. My brother has had this battle going on for many, many years, even to the point where now he isn't even allowed to see his son. And so that's a struggle. On top of that, he doesn't have the finances to get him an attorney. Another struggle. the only advice that really I could kind of consistently give to him is that when he has those court dates, you can't just go in there with your emotions. Keep all of your documentation. This is just as far as my limited knowledge on the system, and to me, it sounds just messed up. But I told him you just can't go in with this isn't right. It's the court.
Right.
It's they don't them emotions, because he can be kind of a hothead and kind of go off. And I said, right or wrong, you have got to keep those in check. Keep your paperwork, keep your documentation, text, paychecks, everything that you've got. Keep that with you. And I don't know where it's going to end for him. It's still an uphill battle for him, and his son is just getting older and older, and it's just been putting a big strain on him. And I've heard other horror stories from other gentlemen as well too, where women use that. I'm just going to put you on child support. And I think to myself, as I hear it, is there not any more investigations? Is there not any more, ways to make it more fair for the man? Is there not more of hearing his side? It's just, and even the calculations that they do, this man told me how much is coming out of his check for both his kids. And he's like, by the end of it, by the time I get my check, I only have like $200-300 for myself. How can I survive on that? And I don't know. To me, it sounds messed up just from my end.
No, I would agree that it is definitely a messed up system. So I would think an only way to win would be not to be a part of it. So when I was doing my little research today, we're going to go back to the beginning because Chicago Realist said it. Child support was basically put in place to, if we want to just make it said, to replace the father, right?
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to replace the father, but the first thing that needs to happen is the paternity needs to be set on or agreed upon who the father is, and that's done by DNA. Would y'all agree?
Yes, it should be mandatory. It should be mandatory DNA.
It is mandatory unless you're not married. Right. And we also want to mention that this is not any legal advice. I'm just telling you the information that I heard and gained today by asking a few questions. And I'm asking and I'm telling young men and all men actually, go ask some questions, because I don't think that they're asking questions. I'm just saying that because the information I had today definitely let me know that these things are different from state to state and from county to county. Or in some cases, I guess it may be city to city if you don't live in a place where it's not county to county. Okay, so Harrison's family vlog says it's not mandatory. And I'm assuming he's saying paternity is not mandatory. Meaning that...
Yeah, I've heard it's not.
It's not mandatory.
Meaning that you don't have to be the father?
Right. In some cities, if I may, in some cities like Detroit, some states, like in states like Michigan, I can go and get a female pregnant tonight. Oh, no. I'm sorry. A female can go out tonight and be promiscuous and get pregnant tonight. And in 4 months or in that 9-month period when she has the baby, she can tell the hospital, Black Man Unfiltered is the father. They're not going to investigate it. They immediately put my name on the birth certificate and start charging me child support.
Whoa, they can put your name on the birth certificate and you be nowhere around?
I don't even know her. I don't even have to know her. I could have pissed her off at a parking lot. And she can say my name, and I'm responsible for that child.
Yeah. And even without being promiscuous, the gentleman I'm talking about, one of his kids was with his ex-wife. So he did things the right way.
Yeah.
He was married. That ended. She went straight to the courts, put him on child support, and he can't even see his child.
Exactly.
So you know what? So we got to do a lot of work, because in my state, it is mandatory. Paternity has to be determined.
Oh, I like that.
It has to be. So there's no pointing. There's DNA that has to be done, unless you're married, of course. If it's assumed and you're married.
That should be mandatory too.
Oh yeah, right. They need to.
No, it's not. I hate to say it, y'all. Okay, that's the little giveaway. It is not. It doesn't have to be that part. It's a given if you're married. So yeah, I agree with you all, though. I definitely agree. So what I'm saying, the next point is, where I'm from, it has to be. You have to determine who the father is.
What state is that?
Mine or
yours, where it's mandatory?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Paternity.
I'm all the way out because I'm in North Carolina. I am.
Paternity has to be set. Paternity has to be set here in North Carolina. So that was one thing. And then the next thing she said was this, because I'm asking questions and I'm saying, okay, so I really want to be able to talk to young men and let them know what kind of rights they have or what can be done, if they're falsely accused, all of this. And what she told me, I think that y'all going to be very surprised about it. She said these caseworkers, they actually are state employees, state or county employees. They do not work for the custodial parent.
No.
They do not work for the custodial parent. They are not controlled by the custodial parent. And the non-custodial parent, which could be the father, also has rights. And they push for that non-custodial parent, whether it's the father or the mother, to be involved with that caseworker. They push for it. They want to talk to the non-custodial parent just as much as the custodial parent. They push for it. Let me tell you something else they told me. They said if that non-custodial parent is checking in with that caseworker, then they will make arrangements on child support. I need to drop the mic. Make arrangements on child support.
I don't know about that now.
Oh, no. You can't. No, I'm telling you, I talked to them today. They said, if you are checked in, we want you to be checked in because we realize things happen. COVID is going on. You might have lost your job. Anything could happen. You cannot run. You can't miss court dates, but you need to be making phone calls. That caseworker does not, or that custodial parent does not own that caseworker. She can't pull the trigger and say, go get them.
Ooh, what state this is?
Cannot. This is North Carolina. Cannot.
Oh,
cannot. No. First, you need to find out, are the men talking to the caseworkers? First things first. Are you dialing it in with the caseworkers? Or are you getting, hold on, black man? Or are you getting the letters and you ignoring them? Or are you putting them off and be like, I'll get to it later? I'm just telling you what she said. She said they must stay dialed in to the caseworker. She said, if something happens, and this is just not men, y'all. This is whoever the non-custodial parent is. It's not like, it could be a woman. Y'all understand this, right? It's not like, they said they need to talk to the person. Oh, hold on for a minute. Big Bad Bull, thank you for the super chat. In most cases, non-celebrity, the child support is way beyond fair. The child support is way beyond fair. Mm-hmm. It is actually far cheaper not to have primary custody than not. Goes on to say the non-custodial parent just needs to pay and shut up. I'm not going to go that far because sometimes I'm just going to say this. Sometimes the system is real scary. Okay. And sometimes we're young and we do things and we find ourselves in situations that we don't know. And if nobody is telling us and we're not talking about it, we may run from it or we may just kind of try to stay away from it. But I got to tell you more. She said it is very important that the non-custodial parent calls that caseworker and stay dialed into them. Another thing I've heard a lot over the time is that custodial person, the man or woman got behind on the child support order and they told him to go put out a warrant for him because he owes me money. She says, no, that's not the way it works. There are guidelines. Nobody can tell the state or the county to put out a warrant on someone. There has to be things that are in place that have not been done in order for a warrant to be issued because a judge has to sign off on it. So it's not a 1, 2, 3, you miss 90 days, you got to go. There's a lot involved.
Did she mention any of those guidelines?
Right. I want to know that.
I didn't. Do y'all want me to call her back? I got a name and everything. I can call her back and get those guidelines. Right. But I did not get the guidelines because I didn't know if we wanted to go, that might be pertaining to certain situations. I didn't. She just said that cannot be done. My child's father can't miss 90 days and then I go down there and say, I need to have him arrested, arrest him. It can't be like that. There are several things that have to be missed and done in order for the guidelines to kick themselves in place. One thing she did mention is, first things first, there has to be a court date. There's always a court date that is put, in place. Then if that person misses that court date, then that's when the ball of rebellion or I'm going to pick you up, the warrant and all that. That's when all that starts. But a court date is issued first. So I have a comment here. Chicago Rilla. Oh, Chicago Rilla, listen, we're going to drop the link in the excuse me, we're gonna drop the link in the chat for you. Please use it and come on up, because I saw you got some things you want to say. But listen, so listen, guys, that's one thing. Now listen, when she said that they could even possibly make arrangements, she's seen it before, because that was my question. I said, so when I'm keeping in touch with this person so much and I'm telling them I don't have any money, what can they do for me? She said, well, I've seen them make arrangements, but you got to stay in touch. You can't run. So I was about to drop the phone. You know, I was like, oh, you serious? She was like, yeah. This can happen. And then she went on to say that, what was some more things she said? That was the gist of it myself, because I wanted to tell her we are needing to know how we can keep men out of the system completely. I don't like the system. I think the child support system is very unfair, put together. The reasoning, I guess, was put together was okay, but what I need men to understand, we value good women, or women, I'm going to say good women, and children value you so much more than a child support order. How could it be any good just receiving money from you every month that somebody possibly had to force you to pay? I was talking to a young man, and he said he had a child support order, and it was about $238 a month. So I divided that by 30. Y'all go ahead and do the math for me. I think that's about $7.09 a day. So I said to this young man, I said, do you not know that you have so much more value to your child than $7.09 per day? Why are you doing this? Why are we arguing this right here? Well, what are we doing right now? He's so toe up about this. He just can't get his head wrapped around, you know, the whole thing. Now he's in it now. I'm trying to say, calm down. Let's see what we can do to work this out. But I'm telling any man, if you're married to a woman and you're deciding, or you both have decided that you can't be in the home anymore, you cannot allow her to get this system thing going. We got to figure out what your value is while you're in that home, and we have to keep that thing in place. Now, a lot of people are not going to like this, but I also suggest, men, take your children with you. I'm sorry. I'm an advocate of it. I just believe it looks good. It works. I just think that men should be raising their own children.
Exactly.
And don't hate me for it, you know, but I just think it's true. I just think, Sir Hell, he said, salute. Hey, security boss, black men and amateur. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
But I just believe that, y'all. Now, black men, you have your kids, and I just think that's the best thing in the world, because I don't want to be involved with a person that doesn't want their kids. Okay. If you don't want your kids, like I'm gonna give you a prime example. It was me. Thank you, Sir Hell. Okay, here you go. Y'all, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. We're gonna do the money line song. Here it comes. Go ahead on, amateur boy. Keep moving them shoulders. I see you. It's getting to you, right? It's weakening you. You know.
I'm trying to be a little reserved, you know.
No, you gotta let it go. Listen, I get you to make me some of them cocktails. We'll see how it really goes.
Okay. We can do that too.
Yeah. So anyway, my point, I'm gonna be the example. My child's father was in the military. And when we came to conclusions, we were not going to get married. Of course, he married someone else. Sir Hell.
Keeping the party going. I know that's right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sir Hell, for the $19.99 super chat. Let me drop something else for the fire track. There you go. So when we decided that, of course, we were not going to be together, and if you can tell how this story is flowing, his wife told him that she felt like he needed to be on child support. And I don't know a whole lot about the military. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about the military, but what I gathered from the conversation he and I were having is that he would have more income if he could prove that he had more kids. Might be a silly reason, but some men would call it incentivizing if it was reversed,
and
right?
scheming and whatnot.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. Yes. So he wanted to be incentivized. Hello, Chicago-rilla. He wanted to be incentivized by the military, and that's what he did. So the whole time he did it, okay, he paid the child support religiously, never skipped a beat. Everything was lovely, but he never came to see his child. Never tried.
Wow.
Never tried. And I never bothered him because I never wanted to force my daughter on him. I was actually afraid of that. I actually thought that maybe that wouldn't be a good idea to do. Because I often sometimes tell women that shouldn't you try to have force a relationship with the child and the father. Don't tear it apart. Do not want it. Want them to have a relationship. But in my case, that wasn't a good idea for me because the father, I was never against the relationship and he never wanted one. So whenever he decided to come into town and to call her and see her, I allowed it, of course. But he never really wanted to forge a relationship. And I was always very skeptical about that. I never wanted to push her on him because I wasn't sure if the bond was good enough that he would take care of the way he needed to. So that's what I mean by men. If you want your children, take them with you.
I agree.
Take them with you if you can. Chicago-rilla, how are you? What do you have to add to this child support saga that we're continuing to go through that we're trying to keep our man out of? He's not there yet. So anyway, that was my point I'm trying to make, black man. I don't know the rules or the guidelines of every state, but I'm telling you from what this, and it could vary a whole lot for whatever reason. It could. But in the state that I'm in, I was given instructions. If the young man lives here, he needs to get in contact with whoever that caseworker is and never let her go. Now, she also said that that caseworker can somewhat work for him as far as modifications, questions, or whatever he needed from her. But what she could not do, or that caseworker could not do, would be to give advice on visitation and guardianship or, custody. He had to seek out a lawyer for that. But anything short of that, the same things that custodial mother or father had, that non-custodial person had that same right. Now, I bet men don't know that. I bet they don't know that. Huh?
I don't know.
I
don't know if it can be summed up to men not knowing.
Right.
I don't think they know it. I think a lot of them would use it, especially if you say to me, I don't have any money. You call this number and build a relationship with this woman. She'll give you an arrangement because $25 is better than nothing. $25 is better. Sometimes you are in a bad. Oh, I got one more before I let y'all talk about this. There's one more. She also said in the state that I'm in, there are programs for fathers who are unemployed.
What?
Yes. I promise you.
Wow.
Miss Loretta was her name.
Wow. That's amazing.
There are programs. I'm just telling you, I don't know if this is the case in all states. Don't know, because she did say it. Things do vary from county to county, state to state, what have you. But I do want to tell you, this is the thing she told me. So I'm just saying to anyone that is about to go into the system, that is in this system and is struggling with it, call your caseworker and have a conversation. Don't avoid it. Just have a conversation. Just to see how it goes. Tell them the situation. Tell them your situation. Be honest. Don't run away. Don't miss your court dates. Do none of that. Call them and tell them your situation. TJ, hello. How are you?
Auntie.
That's what you need to do. Now, what do y'all think about that? I just gave you 4 positives that could be. Now, this is my state again. I'm understanding now. Black man, I don't know if you're speaking for Detroit or for Michigan, or if it's just something you know about it. But I'm telling you, this is what I was told today.
Yeah, this was on ABC News. So anybody that wants to go, look at it. There was a young man on ABC News that was in court for a child and a woman that he didn't even know. And the state allows it. And the judge told him, you're still going to pay the $30,000. The paternity test came back as the baby's not his, but you still owe the state $30,000. I wish you had the clip. I wish I could have sent you that clip.
Yeah.
You would have fallen out of
definitely look it up, because somebody has failed this young man, because you don't just end up in court. Somebody failed him. I agree with you, because the way it was said, part of the guidelines is notifying the non-custodial parent. So even if he is the non-custodial parent, he had to be notified.
He's not the daddy. No,
but they still had to notify him. They had him down. They arrested him, right?
No, he turned himself in.
But how did he know? How did he know to turn himself in?
Okay, so what his lawyer spoke on his behalf. She said that he got a letter in the mail saying that he was behind. He's in arrears on child support. If he didn't pay the child support, they were going to arrest him. And the man was like, I don't have no kids. So he went in and turned himself in and said, listen, guys, you got the wrong guy. I don't have no kids.
Wow. Now, I know you don't know anything about it like this, but I'm just wondering, was that the first letter, second letter, third letter? We're talking about $30,000 later. I'm just telling you, you can't. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Black.
No, you good. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if the baby ain't his.
No, it definitely matters, because you can't leave your life. You got to be intentional. We can't let this world figure our life out. If you know that something is not right, you can't just throw up your hands and be like, oh, they'll figure it out later. You can't do that, because if the system is against you already, they don't care. It's up to you to say, I'm going right back to get this fixed. Go ahead, Chicago Rilla, add that something that we don't know into it, because I don't know. I've never heard of this.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. So I want to give a perspective for somebody that's actively in the system.
Thank you.
I want to give a perspective for somebody that's in the system as we have this discussion with kids in Georgia. Okay. So I want to give that perspective. And security boss, you know what's interesting? When we say that, hey, they had to notify him. That brother she could have had one address on him. He could have moved. And guess what? They would recognize the last address that she provided as fair for them giving him warning. Now, all of a sudden, he gets pulled over by the police. I'm just saying hypothetical, but I've also known these situations to happen. He gets pulled over. Not me. This is not my situation, but I'm just saying he gets pulled over by the police. Oh, your license suspended. My license suspended. Yeah, it's child support. You in arrears. You owe what? Wait, what? I owe child support. I don't even have kids. Or no, I'm current on my child support. Like, all these things happen. And to be honest, the system has been weaponized for years. So I'm just getting home. I don't want to come in where I left off before I got out the car, but I did want to be able to pull up and add value from the perspective of someone that's in the system currently. In particular, in Georgia, one of the things that you all spoke to earlier in security boss, I think you were saying in particular the conversation.
Hold on for a minute, Chicago Rilla. It's our money line song. There you go. He said Chicago be moving his shoulders. Barkeep, come on now, get your shoulders in there.
Shout out to Bolo. Shout out to Bolo, my brother. Bolo
TV, thank you so much for your super chat. Let me say this before you get done, Chicago Rilla. I totally agree with everything you're saying, and I've heard of this, but my point is I don't want anybody to be a part of the system. I want to head it out from the beginning, because it doesn't work in our favor.
I think that's ideal.
Well, here's the thing. This is what I be telling the young bloods, and this is what I get pushed back on. Yo, keep your John to yourself, man. Keep your and the crazy thing is, you know, so many brothers be like, man, you tripping. That's old school. Well, that's this, that's what. Listen, man, I'm a man of a certain age, and for all that I've been through, all that I've done, I love my kids, so on and so forth. But you know, honestly, I would have been a virgin up until knowing what I know now, right? I would have been much more intentional. So while we out here bombarded with these messages of, you know, get this, knock this one down, this, that, and third, whoopty woo, and then, oh, it's a oopsie. You know, now you have responsibilities. 18 years. Come on. What Kanye told y'all?
And on the 18th birthday, found out it wasn't his.
So security, I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is, what I tell the young bloods, yo, fam, listen, it ain't going nowhere. Keep it to yourself, bro.
Discipline, yeah.
Listen, keep it to it. Ain't even.
Be selective too.
You know what? But you know what? Chicago, really, even with that, and I pray that they do. I pray that they hear you. But even with that, the scenarios that you both have given, it wouldn't have mattered because they didn't father those kids. So somebody could still give a fake name.
Yep.
And it's still something that we still.
Well, that's why I said I didn't want to come in on the tail end, because I jumped out the car and then had to reboot thing and everything else. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to jump in. No.
I appreciate that, and I think we all are saying the same thing. Now, I never heard of that kind of scenario where once the paternity was. Let me say it a little different. Once it was established, the person then still was said, you got to pay. That is ridiculous.
But security boss, honestly, and I apologize if I'm cutting you off. I don't want to.
No.
This is a passion point for me when it comes to this child support stuff. Me too. Right? Because in all honesty, and I hear what you're saying about North Carolina.
Right.
Did I say Carolina right?
You said Carolina right.
Okay. So I was watching The Wood the other day. But listen, in some states, like in Georgia, like, listen, if you sign the birth certificate, you may not biologically be the father, but you're still on the hook because you signed the birth certificate.
I agree with it. That's what we're saying. That we're all saying the same thing, but we're trying to come up with solutions that we don't have to be a part of it. We don't have to be a part of this system. And I called this woman today, and I pretended to have this young man. I thought, I'm trying to work this thing out for this young man because I didn't want her to think I was a weirdo. And I was just getting information. And she said, well, if paternity has already been established, because here it has to be, then if it's already been established, and I guess agreed upon, or if signed to, except if you're married, then what can this non-custodial person do? Now, automatically, she said father, because that would probably be the thing you think of. She said the best thing for that person to do would be to get in contact with that caseworker. Stay connected. I'm just telling you what she said.
I know, and this is the thing, and that was the other thing that you hit on that I was like, wow. Listen, them people in East Point, Georgia, and I've been back in Chicago for 6 years now. 6 years, almost 7 years. No, 6 years now. Them people in East Point, Georgia know me very well. Okay. And they know everything that and I would never, and let me say this to the gentleman too. Let me say just real quick, security boss. Let me say this to the gentleman. Yo, it's mad and it's wildly disrespectful to refer to the mother of your children as a baby mama. That is not your baby mama. We all know the connotation that comes with baby mama. That's the mother of your child. That's the mother of your child. Don't ever disrespect it. If you had enough whatever in you to lay down with her, don't ever refer to that woman. That makes my blood boil when I hear dudes, that's my baby mama or this, that, and third. Like, that's so corny, fam. That's the mother of your children or the mother of your child. So keep it there. Okay. Now, here's the thing. In my experience with caseworkers, when you go into these offices, they are state employees. I think you said that they are state employees.
Or she said state or county,
municipal, county.
Yeah, they don't work for that mother per se.
But yes and no, because the laws are already skewed towards the mother. right?
That's what I was thinking.
So technically, security boss, she's right. They don't work for the mother. The mother can't call and say, you know, hey, go arrest him. That's not how it works.
Right.
But to your point also earlier in the scenario that you used, where you said, hey, there has to be a series of action. Maybe he didn't show up for this, that, and the third. Da, 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 da. Okay. Well, if you're sending mail to the wrong address, right? If you're sending mail to the wrong address, now I have a suspended license, a revoked passport, right? Not my experience per se, but I'm just saying. Well, let me pause that. I've been through that part before too with the suspended license, right? But you have a suspended license, a revoked passport, and whatever other penalties they can levy against you based on the fact that she said whatever, right? And so the truth of the matter is, and this is not going to be popular when I say it, but the truth of the matter is, you know, you go into these offices and a lot of the caseworkers that you're dealing with are the reflection of the mother.
On it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they're single mothers. They're single mothers. They're single mothers too, and they have utter disdain for the father of their children as well.
Yep.
Okay. And so when you come in, they're handling you all. See, this is the thing. This is why them people in East Point know me. And I listen, them people in East Point, Georgia, they know me because I'm in there and you can't handle me a particular type of way. And I'm very articulate and I'm very careful with my words. So you're not finna handle me like Oofy Goofy coming in there off of you know what I'm saying, whatever boulevard. Okay. So you know, he'll get in there, act the fool, and then you see security walking him out. I'm gonna get in there and use my words and come in there and present certain things. And you know what these folk will tell me all the time? Well, see, and this is the caveat, security boss. And this is why I'm telling young bloods, and this is why I think this message sticks, to keep it in your pants, keep it to yourself, because they will have you jump through hoops and hurdles. Now you have to hire an attorney to prove your innocence, or you have to prove who you are. Guess what the mother of your children has to do?
Nothing.
Because the state advocates on her behalf. I'm not saying, I know you.
I'm just telling you. Yes, we're on the same page. I'm agreeing with you, and I know exactly what you're saying. But we cannot allow that to keep us. Just like you said, those people at East Point know you. It's because you're down there. You cannot run away from it, or we cannot have those conversations. And I really don't know, Chicago Rilla, if men know that they can have those conversations. I think they much rather just let it go.
I was
I'm sorry, black man. Go ahead.
No, so I was a part of that system. Right?
Give me a little bit more, black man. Give me a little bit more.
I was a part of that system. So when I got a divorce from my ex-wife, I was a part of that system. And even being a part of that system, I sat down with my ex-wife and I said to her, I will pay half of all your bills.
Right.
Tell me what's your car payment, your lights, your everything that you cable, gas expenses. I will pay half. She agreed. I was sending it to her. Her friend said, girl, that's all he giving you is bill money? You deserve more than that. She took me to court, all because her friends gassed her up. And we got to court, and the judge was like, "Hey, you know, I see here that you know, she's." I said, "Where is she at?" "Oh, she don't have to be here. The state represents her."
Crazy.
I was like, "What?"
Crazy.
Well, they do, but they don't work for her. They do represent the custodial parent, but they also have to give you information too. They have to help the non-custodial parent also. But remember, I said you got two solutions. I don't know if y'all heard this or not. First one is to not get in the system, which would be the discipline. And the second one would be to take your kids.
Exactly. That's what I did.
Said take your kids.
I don't know how. The thing
take
of
your
it
kids.
Is, well, you got to break down what take.
I would take, what I mean by that is initially, well, It all depends if you were married or you're not, if you wouldn't marry. If you're not married, then both parties have a right to the children. I would get custody of the child when I'm not married if I was this man.
Is that easy to do?
The tended. So that's the thing, security boss.
Why is it? Hold on. Why? Yeah, it's very easy to do, because just like my child was mine, it was also her dad's. We were not married. We weren't married at the time, so he had just as much rights as I did. We were not married. In North Carolina, you do. Well, he could have came and got her. He could have came and got the child and did whatever he wanted to do. I would have been the one to sue for the rights to get her back. I would have had to sue for custody. I would have had to do that. Yes. Yeah. So, this is a non-married people. Now, these are people that are non-married, y'all. I don't know why mothers think that they're so in control of the child. This is where I'm from. We're not.
Security is absolutely certain states. In certain states, paternity is given to the mother. Georgia is one of them. But there's certain states where when you sign that birth certificate, right, in certain states, that's just an artifact, a bill that says, or a testimony or a witness that a child has been born. That doesn't automatically grant the moms the custody in certain states. So you have to find out what state you're in. This is why when you go for child support, someone is awarded custody because that child support follows the child. But in certain states, the moms is granted automatically. Georgia is one of them. I had this conversation with Uncle Stu. So there are certain states where you can fight. But here's the thing, the caveat is us as men, we need to stop feeling pressured to sign that birth certificate. Yeah. That's the issue. You know what I'm saying? Because you got everybody in your ear telling you sign that birth certificate because, again, like Rilla said, there has been situations where men has been proven not to be the father, but because he's on that birth certificate, he has to continue paying child support. Right. So you as a man have the right to say, I ain't signing nothing until we get a paternity test right after that child is born. You have that right. You don't have to fall victim to the stigma that, she's saying it's your child or whatever the situation might be. You have to hold your guns, right? And we have to understand that the system is geared towards the woman. So a lot of these women may have had trauma in their background that works for the system. So automatically they tap in to that woman that's coming in with this trauma or this issue with this man. So they're already looking at you kind of wild. But, the thing that security boss is saying is so important that we as men need to start teaching these youngins that we're talking about not to avoid the system. The worst thing you can do is not talk to the system. That's the worst thing, because now when they send you that first letter, if she didn't give the wrong address, right? If you do know, when they send you that first letter, they send you that second letter, and they send you that third letter, automatically they're going to give you child support. So the worst thing you can do is not talk to them. So when the first letter comes, you can go down there and say, listen, I don't got no problem. I just want paternity test to show that I am that father before you guys lock me into this situation that's going to take me tens of thousands of dollars to get out of if I don't, because they're going to automatically lock you in. The same way if you don't show up to court, they find you guilty. So the worst thing we can do is not show up. So we have to let these men know that it's okay to be cool not to have sex. I didn't start having sex until in my late teens. So we have to let these men know that the cats that are cool in their eyes, the cats that have that swag, they didn't start smashing at 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? They actually took their time to wait to do it. So there's nothing wrong. We have to break that stigma in our community. But the onus is on us. A lot of us black men are operating from a defeatist attitude. Automatically, we think that once we go into that court, that we have no say, we have no power. You have to do the work. If you sign a petition, let's say you and your woman are pregnant, and you get her to sign a petition, you get it notarized, do you know that the courts have to acknowledge that paperwork? So if you and her draft up a contract, and you get it notarized, the courts have to acknowledge that. They can't just get rid of that. They have to acknowledge it. So we don't know the information. That's why a lot of us operate from that defeatist attitude because we don't have the info. So when security boss and all of you guys are up here giving this information, this is why it's so important, because if you operate from a position of understanding and knowledge, you have more to fight with opposed to being emotional. Emotions come when you don't know. Emotions is that there's no context or there's no perspective to emotion. And that's what you said when you come in and you speak articulately and you're sitting there saying, cool, I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to get emotional about the situation. I'm going to explain what the situation is. I don't got a problem. I just want to make sure before y'all lock me into this system that I got to jump over 8 different hoops and climb, Grand Canyon to get out of it. I just want to make sure that's my child, because I've seen many people get caught up in it. So I would like a paternity test, and I'll pay for it. If it's $500, I'll pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get in front of the curve, because understand something. The system works for the women.
Yes.
Even though, and this is the thing that cats don't understand. The law is supposed to be blinded, right? So it's supposed to not pick, it's supposed to be unbiased. But because of the people that articulate the law, they're the ones that are biased and they use the law. So our job is, as the OGs, is to hear these young G's and say, dogs, you're not out of the fight yet. If you keep moving as if you're defeated, then Duke, there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing. I can't work with you when you're already behind the 8 ball. So if you give this information, you say Georgia is one of those states that the woman is automatically granted custody, but there are other states that are not. So the onus is on you. Like she said, listen, let me explain something to you. Do you know the grandparents can take custody of a child in certain states?
Yeah.
You don't think so? You have to, because again, in certain states, when a child is born, no one has custody. So a lot of us think that when we sign the birth certificate, that's paperwork saying that we have custody of the child. No, it's not. That's why when you go for child support, someone is granted custody, right? Either you or the mother. Your grandparents can come in and say, we want custody of the children. They can do that. So the onus, like Security Board said, we have to listen to the OGs. What Security Board said, the thing, like she said, like if you're in a state like North Carolina, I can take the son and zip out and go to Cuba.
Wherever.
You can't do nothing.
Nothing.
Because no one was granted custody. So the onus is on us as men. Do your homework. The same way you did the work to smash it, the same way you did the work to find them J's, the same work you did to act fly, do the work to find out what's going on in your a particular state, so that you understand and you function out of understanding and knowledge, not from emotion.
So Bolo, can I say something to that, please?
Yes, sir.
So I've been on both sides of it, right? I've been in the system when it came to that. And then I personally myself say, you know what, I'm not doing this. And it's a shame that men literally have to get dirty to get their kids. And then let me explain to you. I went to that, you had the children's court thing. But I don't think that you have to really prove that she's unfit. I say, well, she's not living in the best area. They're not going to the best schools. My kids' grades are reflected horribly. I can provide a home. I'm not living, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with how women are living in Section 8 or housing, but I can provide a better home, better schools, better quality of church, better quality of everything. And they were still telling me no. They were saying, no, you got to prove. So I said, okay, you know what? You're right. So what I started doing was I got close to her friends, because we had the same friends, my ex-wife. I got close to them. Hey, listen, I'll give you 100 here, 50 here, 75. I just need you to take pictures of everything that she's doing wrong.
Ooh, wow.
But guess what, Black man?
Guess what? I got pictures of everything. I got pictures of abuse, picture of alcoholism in the house. I got pictures of her fighting. I got pictures of her drunk in the club. I got pictures of her.
That still don't suffice.
Right. Hold on. But watch this. I went to the court, and when I went to court, my lawyer said, hey, Your Honor, I have because we had joint custody at first. Right? I got joint custody first, and then I said, no, I got to get my kids out of there. So in the joint custody plan, they said no man can stay at the house if they're not married. No man can stay in that house overnight if they're not married to her. That was on the joint custody plan. The second thing was no alcohol needs to be in the house around the kids whatsoever. Consuming it around the kids or around the kids, right? I have pictures of her in the bed with a dude sleep. Oh, I got pictures of her drinking in the house. My daughter in the picture, and she got people in the background drinking. Like I got the whole 9 yards. When I presented it to the courts, and when we were actually fighting, they could not fight me because I had all the proof. I had everything.
So what? But
if I could share, so like, what state are you in? Like,
when I was fighting Louisiana.
So I'm in New York, right? I have custody of my kids, and it wasn't.
Hey, congratulations, bro.
Thank you. But the situation was, like again, me and my ex-wife have a decent co-parenting relationship. So like, I'm not going to go into heavy details, right? But I will say this: I filed for custody, and initially I filed for joint custody. Now again, what Bolo and Chicago was saying is absolutely true. You have to, as a man, you have to know what your rights are. You need to know the laws of the state that you're in. You must, because you'll do yourself a disservice going into the process, not knowing the possible outcomes or what you need to do while you're in the process. So I'm applying for, I'm going for sole custody. And what I learned is in New York State, they will not automatically, which would be ideal, right, to grant both parents joint custody off the rip, right? Let's not have the state make a judgment on who the child should go with. They both made the child. It should be joint custody off the rip. That's not how they do it. I'm filing for joint custody. Fast forward, my kids has their lawyer. I have a lawyer, and my ex-wife has a lawyer. The courts will go off of what the kid's lawyer believes. Okay. Now, most family courts, I could imagine, at least I know in New York State, but I can imagine around the nation, is pretty lenient on the mother, right? They tend to side with the mother, even if the man is trying to go for joint custody. And because the kids was living with me, I had temporary custody at the moment. Shout out to the super chat. Yeah, I'm about to wrap up. Promise. So ultimately, we go before the judge, right? And the judge asks the kid's lawyer, the advocate, who do you believe the children are best suited to be with? They said the children best suited to be with their father. My ex-wife began to cry immediately in the court. The judge, in front of me, my ex-wife, and the lawyers, tells me, brings my lawyer to the front. Suggest to my lawyer to tell your client to go for joint custody, but he can have physical custody of the kids. But it'll be joint custody, but the kids will live with me. The judge literally stopped the case, right? After hearing what my kid's lawyer said, stopped the case, had my lawyer come up and say, please recommend to him to do joint custody with him being the custodial parent. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I would have done that from the very beginning had I known that was an option. I didn't know that was an option, right? But the fact that the judge told my lawyer to do this showed me how one-sided the court system is in favor of mothers. Right now we have a dope relationship, co-parenting the best we can. And the thing is, truth be told, I never wanted to keep my kids away from their mother. Had I known that there was an option for joint custody with me being the custodial parent, I would have did that from the beginning. All right. So I guess it worked out. But the fact that the judge came essentially came off the blind side of the law to make that kind of recommendation sort of put me aside for a moment. And I was like, wow, I see how one-sided this situation can be. Even when, like in your situation, Black man, it's in the kid's best interest to be with the father. We got to know what we're getting into, man.
Yeah, I didn't think it was just that simple as the dad being able to just take the kids with them. Mm-hmm. From what I hear, you have to have a pretty strong case to even have that be allowed. Typically, the mom. Yeah.
Well, that's in my state. That may not be the case in any state, but Harrison family, I appreciate what your story. But I want to ask this question because you said it a couple times. If I would have known that in the beginning, I would have done it automatically. So that's the message that I'm trying to, and I think Bolo is saying the same thing. And I think Black man is too. He's been through it. We've all seems like we've been through some situation, whereas we can tell someone, listen, this is how this may go for you. You got to tap into this. They can do these things. So we don't have to be a part of the system. So we don't have to end up in the court system and they tell us what we should know to do. We can do it ourselves, and we can help our children, and we can help the family dynamic. Because what I hate to see is that the children are being reduced to an invoice, and nobody wants that. That just takes all the love. All the dad is, usually the fathers are upset. It just that has nothing to do with being a father, or you're not even you're not building relationships. You're tearing them apart.
Absolutely right. Visitation.
You know what?
Is there for inmates.
Yes, it's for inmates.
The child support should be granted to the custodial parent. It shouldn't be given to the child, because ultimately the child support follows the child. So this is why these mothers fight for the child to keep that bread. This is why they get pregnant and do that, because whoever has the child has the bread. The money should go to the parent that is best fitting.
Yes,
exactly.
Not the child. And this is the problem. And they know what the problem is. And they go off of the lack of information that there is in the inner cities with these men. And it goes to these cats having children young. These cats don't listen. To be a father, synonymous with father is patience. And when you're young, you don't have it. You just don't in most situations, right? They are the exceptions to the rule. So these young men are trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to figure out where their place is. They're trying to figure out life. They got bravado. They can run through fire and run through metal bricks and, metal walls and all sorts of stuff. They're not like us when we get to that seasons thing and we're sitting there going, okay, I break easy. You know what I'm saying? My bones is going to break. Let me start thinking about what I do before I do it. And they're not operating from this position. So we have to set up something where we educate them before, during, and after. So you get the chick pregnant, you get the woman pregnant, cool. She doesn't want to, do whatever she wants to have the baby. Now you're in the dung.
Yes.
Now we need to educate you on what you can do. What state are you in? Let's get this database. What state are you in? New York City? Dogs automatically granted to the woman in New York. So you're going to have a fight. Right? So it's unfortunate that you have to do certain things like Black man. You have to get the friends, or you have to do that. It's unfortunate, but this is the condition of the battle. If these are the hoops that you have to jump, then damn it, these are the hoops that I got to jump. It is what it is. If you're going to be lazy and say, I don't want to have to do all that, then my G, however it falls, don't complain. Because when you had a chance to fight, you chose not to. So you have to understand that if this is the child, because you have to say the power is given, the power is transferred once she gets pregnant. So we have to take ownership in sleeping with this woman. We have to take ownership in that. The onus is on us to say, let me have this conversation and sit down, because that penis discipline is so important, man. It is so important. And a lot of us are not going to do it. So cool. Okay. You shot up the club. So understand the ramifications that come with shooting up the club, right? AAA. Acknowledgement, acceptance, application. You have to acknowledge that it's because of you. It's not because of no other person. You made that choice. Acceptance. Accept the ramifications of your actions. Once you do that, now you can start to grow, and now you can get the information that you grew with and apply it. So it's not over once you get her pregnant. It's not over once you're in the system. We have to let them know that let's operate from an informational standpoint, opposed to being a scared man and saying, damn, you know what? We're in the court system, so I'm at her whim. You're not. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So before it gets to that point where you have to get the lawyer, because there's a certain level where you don't have to get the lawyer yet. You don't have to get the lawyer when it's in an infantile stage where you're going to the court, you're trying to get the paternity, paternity will shut all that down before you sign that birth certificate. If you don't show up, or if she purposely gives the court a different address so that they can't find you, then that's a different situation. Then you have to get that.
You are exactly right too. And also, if you agree, you don't end up in court. You only end up in court if you don't agree.
Yeah.
Only if you don't agree do you end up in court. No. So the message I take, black man, I'm coming right. I just want to say this right here. The message I'm just trying to get out there is, men, stay dialed in. If just stay dialed in, they're there for you. It's black man. You said it best. It's going to be hard. Chicago Gorilla. It may not be easy, but you cannot ignore, because it's not going anywhere and it only gets worse. And there are some terrible scenarios and situations that are not fair. And I agree with you all, but we got to do something. We got to do something. Black man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the other thing I want to add to this whole thing is that the system, okay, that's fine. But when you give the women okay, let me start here. So I was not, me personally, I was not on, I'm going to talk about my sister here, my sister, because she's trifling like that, right? And so I can say she's trifling because she's watching a trifling sister. So I have a sister that's trifling like that. and oh yeah, I think transparency is good for the soul. I have a sister that's very trifling and very deceitful and very mean and ignorant. And
how you really feel though?
You know, and so
get it all out.
And I tried to talk to my sister. My sister was married. She was married to a veteran. He did 2 tours in Iraq and I think 1 in Afghanistan. He came home a different guy. You know what the war does to a man. He came home a different guy. He wasn't that old jolly guy he used to be. My sister had no respect for what he became. And so he was very disrespectful. They went through a divorce. When they went through the divorce, she didn't ask for anything. He was over there playing with the kids. He was being a good father. He'd come pick them up. He'd take them everywhere. You know, he'd come pick them up. Hell, she was by herself most of the time. And so what happened, she found out he was dating somebody.
Oh, no.
And when she found, oh, yeah, I was there for it all. I sat back and got my box of popcorn and said, look at this trifling sister of mine. And so she found out he was dating somebody. Then she found out the girl that he was dating looked way better than she was gorgeous, right? And on top of that, she was a white girl. So you know what's going to happen.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Triple whammy.
Mr. Awesome, thank you for the super chat. I see you. We're gonna open up the lines, and I want to talk to you for a minute. But shout out to SB and hubby behind the scenes, fellas. They don't call them family jewels for no reason. Treated as such. I like that. But we got you. But listen, I want you to continue on with that story, black man. But before you do, though, did you know? And I guess it wouldn't have been fair for you to talk to your ex brother-in-law, would it?
I did talk to him.
Oh, okay, so did you know all the things that you know about or knew about the support issue prior to you seeing your sister go through her situation?
No, well, I knew a little, but not a lot.
Okay, so go ahead with your story. I'm sorry.
So she found out he was dating somebody. The girl, he made the mistake. He pulled up at the house, at my mama's house, for Thanksgiving to get the kids, and she was in the passenger seat.
Oh my God.
So I like that. Ooh, I like that. I love it. I'm feeling it. So she was in the passenger seat, and you know how jolly they are when they don't know what's going on. Hi guys! Oh my God! It is so nice to meet you. Hi! Oh my God! I was like, oh Lord, have mercy. So her and my sister got into this little debacle or whatever. Why you got this old dog smelling woman around my kid?
Oh no!
So after that, yeah, my sister got a mouth on her. So after that, she was like, "You ain't gonna see your kids no more." And Monday morning, I'm going to the white man.
Oh wow!
So my sister put him on child support, not because he was a bad father, not because he wasn't being there for his children. She put him on child support because she was angry because he moved on with someone else.
And that's a weapon.
Listen, we see stuff like that all the time, but see, now you know that in that, I said this the other day, we got to plan for divorce if it's going to happen. So in him leaving or them separating, he was supposed to put in writing, like Bolo just said, get a piece of paper that says, I have joint custody of these kids, and you can't do that. And listen, it can all still be loving because she can't run his life forever. But you see how he just left the situation as is and it's going to be good and go on with his life. Men, y'all can't do that no more. You can't do it. You can't trust women to have your better interest.
Well, can I say this unsolicited real quick?
Yes.
Guys, if you're watching, unsolicited is so right. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say what Harrison Family Blog said. If I knew back then what I found out later, I wouldn't have spent all those thousands of dollars trying to acquire my children. Now watch this. Men, it is in most states, make sure you check it first. In most states, if you're with someone, it is a civil matter if you go and pick your kids up and never take them back. So if you can go to her house and pick your kids up and say, let's go out for ice cream, and take them straight to your house or move to another state, and you ain't never got to take them back because when the police come, she's going to call the police. He took my kids. Ma'am, did he kidnap? No. He's the father? Yes. Hey, ma'am, you got to take that up in court. That's a civil matter.
Absolutely.
And you take your kids, and once you take your kids, she has to prove that you're unfit.
Right.
Yeah.
But guess what? I bet you won't do that, though. I bet those mothers won't do that. I bet a lot of them won't do it.
Oh, no, they like officers when you go for a ticket. They don't show up, they dismiss the ticket.
Right.
There you go.
And this is the thing that what security was saying, and black man. And me, I always try to throw a scripture in there once in a while.
Come on, Doc. I knew it was coming.
Come on. We got to stop operating from fear.
Yes.
And that's a lot of the times how us men we operate, because we hear the stories. And when you hear that story, you're like, damn, man, how can I go out there and hit that 3-pointer? We've been missing, right? So this is Isaiah 41:10. And this is what the Lord is saying to you. So you have to understand what your faith is. And that's where it comes in. Your connection with the walk in the Most High will determine how you walk, because at the end of the day, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? But against spiritual wickedness. So when I walk in there, I'm not fighting flesh. I'm fighting all different types of demonic forces. So it says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. So the Lord is telling you, Duke, if you fear, like with Peter, when he told Peter, come out, walk with me. Peter's mind was off God and he started focusing on the water. That was lack of faith, because you know what? He got scared because of how tumultuous the waves became. And what did he do? He fell into the water, and what did the Lord say? What thee a little faith? Because when I'm walking with the Most High, I don't fear. None of you cats can touch me unless the Most High deems it necessary or he wants you to. So he says, fear not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed. Don't get caught up because you see her in the court. She got 15 different lawyers. Don't be dismayed, my G, because all of it is about, shuffling boards and trying to make you look scared. That's the wave. That's the water that Peter saw. For I am thy God. I'm your God. I created all this. I control all of this, my G. I will strengthen thee. I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with my right hand of my righteousness. So what's being said is this. You have to understand that the Lord is dealing with information. He's dealing with understanding and knowledge. So if you have these men that have already been through the system, you have these women that are giving you this information, it is only here to help you, not to hurt you. Information is free. Everyone on this panel is taking their time out. They probably came home from work. There's children, there's husbands, there's wives. They're taking their time to come here and give you this information, this trauma that they went through. Because life is meant to be lived forward but understood backwards. It's not until you go through something you understand it, usually. So these men and women are being that lighthouse to all those men that are in that water with the fog and all of this, and telling you, this is what you need to do. These are the options that you have. It's not lost. But if you choose to say, I'm going to do it my way. If you choose to say, man, they don't know what they're talking about. You choose to say that, then whatever happens to you, happens to you. And you're deserving of it. Period.
Bolo.
Yes, sir.
My sister just texted me. She watching.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Sister,
what you say?
wait a minute. Listen, sister, I had nothing to do with that.
Oh no. Now, Uncle,
Don't
listen. Now, Uncle, listen. You know you don't know my trifling, low down.
Yo.
Black man, I gotta tell a security boss had nothing to do with that. Don't unsubscribe to the channel, please.
Yes.
This is what she sent me. I got it right here. Look.
You're reading it?
She said, it's amazing how you're my blood brother. We have shared the same mama and the same daddy, and you up here defending my ex. Listen, I'm not defending your ex. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You were trying, he tried, and you didn't, and you're trash. It's simple.
Black man.
Listen, man. I don't mind. Listen, man. I hold my family accountable. I don't be all that walking around soft. If I do something, they come at me the same way. My sister was trifling. She know it. She lost a good man, and she mad that Becky over there fixing his plate, and she found out how to be a woman late.
Did you say Becky?
Becky over there fixing his plate, and she found out how to be a woman late. It's sad.
Y'all know I'm having camera issues, but y'all should see my face right now.
No, you can't get mad.
Right, y'all. I had some issues, but forgive us.
No,
so Corey initially talked about Becky, and then Corey Hagee says now Becky done did it again. Listen. Did sister ever say just one time that it wasn't true? Did she just get on you because you are not, you ain't on code? Did she just say it was? No. Is it really true? Did that really happen?
Yeah, she focused. Now, see what she just texted me? She's focusing on the fact now, if you didn't do nothing, the first thing you would have said was, I didn't do that.
Exactly.
That ain't true. But no, you over here mad because I'm defending your ex-husband when you were trash. You treated him like trash, and now you become a statistic. You're by yourself, raising kids by yourself. You move a lot to keep him from seeing his children. You put him on child support. Let me tell you what happened. No, listen. Let me tell you what happened. And then not only that, you tried to get this man's money and put him on child support. He paid the child support faithfully, but he got injured in combat. So his injury sometimes does not allow him to work because he's in so much pain from his injury. So now he gets disability. Now, did you know in some states, I think it's all over, but I'm going to use the state that in disability in the military is the loophole for child support.
Wow.
If you're on disability, the state, the military will not take child support out of a disability check from the military.
And either way, is disability a lot?
Hell yeah, it is.
So I thought that they give a portion of it. They because they're on disability, a portion of it will go to the children.
Yeah, she was upset about it, so that's how I found out about it. I can't believe it. I can't believe they won't give me a dime because he leg hurt.
Military, with the military. But let me say this to black man sister, because I'm gonna translate what he was saying because.
Don't do it.
I need a translation. Thank you,
sister. Listen, we all make mistakes, right? And you made a mistake. And you lost a good man. And there's a lot of things that we do when we're emotional, and we don't stick in cognitive thought, right? We just move emotional. Because again, emotions have no context, it has no perspective. You just react instead of respond. So what you did was you put a good man on child support because you were angry, not because he needed to, not because he didn't take care of the son. So you typically did what women do and what black men accuse women of doing a whole lot. You used the system knowing that it would hurt him because there was no other way you could hurt him because he moved on. So the onus you have to understand this, that vengeance belongs to the Lord. And understand that, a lot of us think that just because he don't get us right when we do something, that we won't get got. So you need to understand that, the circle is coming back around. And we pray and hope that you learn from the mistake that you made. Doesn't sound like you did because of the text you sent. Your response is truth transcends relationships. I don't care if it's your mother, your wife, your brother, your daughter, your grandchild. Truth is truth. It belongs to nobody. I hate when you hear people say this is my truth. That means it's your opinion or your story.
Yeah.
Truth is truth. If your breath stink, your breath stink. It doesn't matter who say it. You think that if Solicity Boss says it, that it's going to sound different than if I tell you it. Your breath stink. It stinks. You dig what I'm saying now? It may come harsh from black man, but understand what he's saying. It comes from a place of love, because if he didn't love you, he wouldn't say it. Absolutely. And because he's that close to you, he can say it. And sometimes when we're in dung, everything smells like dung and we can't see it. This is why when you're in the boxing match, everybody has a corner. So because when you get punched in the nose, all the plans that you had go out that damn window. This is why security boss is screaming, duck, Bolo, move to the left, move to the right. That's why you have. See, your brother was in your corner, but because you were so hurt that he went and he got a white woman that understood what a good man was, that saw what a good man was, that tasted of what a good man was, you got offended. Instead of you looking in the mirror and saying, what did I do to drive this man away? And that's what typically a lot of us do. This is why we have this gender war. Black women, white women, black men, white men are saying women are this and women are saying men are that. Instead of us looking in the mirror and saying, what part did I play in this function so that we can move forward? The point is for you to grow, okay? The difference between God and George Bush is George Bush will pass you because of your age. He's not going to let an 18-year-old be in 6th grade. God will leave you in the 1st grade. You can be 80.
Yep.
He ain't moving you on to that next level until you get that plan or that lesson that he needs you to learn. Understand this. So right now you're still hurt. But
let's do this. Black man, I'm just gonna call her. I'm not gonna call her by name, but sister, you definitely are watching. Today could be your first step to accountability.
Yeah.
You can hit that link and come up here and speak on it. And you could take that first step and then become this go to the next step. You don't have to be, I'm not going to say you're in the 1st grade, but you don't have to be where you are. You can be in another place.
Got another text. I got another text.
Oh,
man.
She said, Bolo, she like you, Bolo. She said, tell Bolo TV, there's a difference. He's right. There's a difference between listening to a man of God and listening to the devil.
Okay, all right.
Wait, let me address that. Listen,
she said I'm the devil.
No, Bolo, don't do it. Bolo, don't do it.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I would never do that.
No, you're not. But she needs to come up here and defend herself. She needs to make that first step because you said exactly what you are. A man of God that spoke to her, and the first step to that is being accountable. Yep. She's just, she's got to make that step. And I definitely want you to talk to her. So I'm not saying you're not, don't talk to her, but
security boss, this is the thing. This is the thing that we, I don't understand. And it mind boggles me, right? How we all think that this man that created this universe, that gives us breath, is only about love, that he's going to come back after being whipped, beat, spit on, crucified, and give I Love New York buttons. Yeah. I don't understand when they tell you his vesture was dipped in blood. I don't know if you've ever taken a towel and dip it in water and lift it out and see what it looks like. Yeah. That's what his vesture is going to be dipped in blood. He's not coming back to give I Love New York buttons. He's coming back to kill people. That's right. So whether you want to hear it the nice way I'm saying it, or you want to hear it rough, like black man is saying, truth is truth. It doesn't matter. If I yell and say, security boss, move out the street, the car's going to hit you. I say, security, get out of the street. The car's going to hit you. At the end of the day, if you don't move, that car's going to hit you.
Going to hit me. I can yell out the window, like, don't be talking to me like that.
Bam.
You know the story? There was a guy, Tommy Sotomayor said this story. Yes. And I say it quickly. There was a black man on a train, and he's sticking his head out because he's never been on a train before. And he's sitting there, he's got his head out the window, and a white man said, hey, N-word, get your head out of the window. Said it again, a N-word, get your head out of the window. So instead of the black man taking his head out of the window, he said, hey, white cracker, who the hell you talking to? Bang! Went through a tunnel, his head got cut off. See, that's the problem with us black people. We don't like to get out of the danger and then discuss the situation. We want to discuss it while we're in the danger
situation. Yep.
Listen to what your brother is saying. It might be harsh the way he's saying it. Damn, it was harsh. It was harsh. However, What he's saying is not a lie. What he's saying is not wrong. And I know it might be hard to hear it from him, but truth is truth, darling. Truth is truth.
We can be so quick to discredit based on the messenger.
Yes. And when
Well, you know what? It goes further than that. Not so much the messenger. I just don't like how she said it to me. Or I don't like how he said it to me. It's more so the tone than the message. It's the tone.
It's the tone. Give it to me. That's why they said to Christ, preach to us sweet things and smooth things. Don't give us the truth. Give us something that's going to make us feel good, not something that's going to help us and grow us. This is why this conversation is so important from security boss. This conversation is hard to have, but we need to have it because you have men up here that I'm looking at black man's face. And when he's telling his story, you can see the pain.
Yeah.
That's not easy to get on a channel that thousands of people are watching and say it. It's for your helping, man.
It's definitely all over his face because I'm sharing something with him and that wasn't his experience. And what I'm saying is almost like could be a pleasant experience. And he's like, hell no, that's not how it is. Child support is out to get you. No, it doesn't work like that. And I'm telling you, we need to walk this thing out. You have some information now. And you also said that you didn't have all of it for your brother-in-law, but you have it now. So I'm saying to men that want to be in their children's life before you even enter into that system, talk to them, talk them through it. Harrison family, you have the same example. Talk them through it. And you all are coming from marriage situations. And I don't know the ratio or what is more, what is less. I can imagine it would be single, right? Single fathers more so. I mean, not married couples. I would think it would probably be single people more than married, but the situation is probably a bit different, wouldn't you say?
Right. And the thing is, the more the insight that I have, next time you had this conversation, I'm gonna see if my sister-in-law can come on because she works for the child support system.
Okay. And what you in Texas, right? You in?
Yeah, I'm in Texas.
Okay.
So she works for the child support system, and some of the stories that woman told me, I mean, she said, you'll be like, why? And she said one day the lady she was training when she was going through training. She was shadowing someone. And the girl came in and she said, just listen, don't talk, just go through the flow of what I'm doing. My sister-in-law said that the girl came in, she said, the lady asked her, do you have proof of his address, where he works? She said, I don't know where he work at. I don't have his address. I know his old address, but I don't know. She said the lady that works for the state told her this, just put down the address.
Yep.
And she said, if we send this letter out and he don't answer, you get your child support, girl. Come on now.
Listen, I'm agreeing with you. I know certain people shouldn't have power. We already established that certain people should have power.
Can I go behind him?
Yes, go ahead.
Another example in a whole different state. I'm in the process of terminating the child support order against my ex-wife.
Oh, that's
we're gonna try to do it outside of the courts because, again, like if you guys, and this works better for both. Especially for the kids, if you could work it outside of the courts, do that. But when I went to go cancel it, right, there was two ladies in the office, right, at a family court, the child support office, right, and I said, I want to, go about canceling the child support order. One of the ladies says, "You received child support?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "And you're canceling it?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Good. No woman should be paying a man child support." And she works for the child support agency. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not lying to you. The other lady that was working with her thought that, what she said was out of line. She said, "You can't be saying that." She says, "He's a man. He shouldn't be getting child support. He should be providing anyway." This is what she said. Now we talked about cons. One of the titles is cons of child support.
Yep.
Negatives of child support. Understand this, man. When you're going into child support, right? You're going into an arena where many of the people that work there have been either in the system benefiting from it, right, or they have like girlfriends who are in the process, in the same process, who have what they would consider deadbeat, baby daddies.
Okay,
in the courts too. So what they're doing is every change that happens from within, right? So in order for you to tip the scales, you're going to have a lot of people with the same mindset working in a place of power that can influence things like this. So when you're going to a system in order to hopefully receive some kind of blind justice, but everybody or the majority of the people that work in that system are one-sided, you're never going to get the justice that you believe you deserve. That's why it's always best to keep it outside of child support if you can.
No, I agree with you. I actually think more men should be working in the system.
But it's not an appealing job. And I'm saying that as someone who worked in police records and worked closely with the clerk, the clerk's office for years. All it takes is one day, one of the clerks either doesn't show up to work for a couple of days and she's assigned a certain pile of paperwork, and your case that should have been taken care of a while ago is passed over. Or, I even served minor warrants, criminal summons and show causes. There's been plenty of times where people just came up, that's not my correct address, but it's gotten elevated because nobody paid attention to, double checking. And she just happened to get pulled at a stop or something like that too. So I think that it would be ideal to trust the system and that it's in place and all you have to do is call. And I think that is a wonderful, not a beautiful idea, but in all honesty, behind the scenes is so much janky stuff that goes on. And I didn't even think about the men's aspect where it's just, you come across some paperwork and you like, oh, I know her. Oh, that's my homie. Somehow magically the paperwork gets shuffled up or it gets held back for a while and the boss comes, oh, where is this at? Oh, my bad. And it just gets overlooked because either they overwork, they're not getting paid that much anyway. So what incentive is there even to have more men to come in there? It's a desk job. They sitting around all day, all night, gossiping and just, it's just.
But that's not a reason. We have to do something. The system is there and it's not going anywhere. So we have to make it work in our favor as much as we can. I mean, it's a job. I'd rather have men in place and decent women in place doing the job than the people that I'm not saying trust anybody, because you can't allow things just to happen to you. You got to be intentional. I mean,
that hiring system is faulty though. So,
we just can't sit around and
getting in. It's just people that are okay with the low pay. They're okay sitting around all day. They're okay just working a city job, just for the benefits, no extra motive or incentive, because the people that are good employees, they're going to better jobs.
Yeah, but the job has to be done. That somebody has to be doing. It's a class of people that can do it, and it could be the top tier of that. And guess what? Men should be doing it also, just as women. I understand exactly what you're saying, because typically anything dealing with this kind of family court,
it's not appealing to them. Yeah,
it's just not, because you got to deal with a whole lot of bad things, I should say, familiar things, and it's a lot of emotion and all of that, but somebody has to do it. We can't just say, oh, that's bad, let's just keep moving, and then men keep getting locked up. They don't know how the system works, because once you get in it and you start getting arrested and you start losing jobs and driver's license, you're done.
Yeah, I think it takes more than that for sure, because at what point do you stop men from being disheartened? They do all the things, they're trying to do it the right way.
So, and if I
they keep getting roadblocks, where do we stop them from just giving up?
So this is the part. Well, again, I can only speak for my region of the country. This is where men have to be strategic when they're going into places like this, all right, and not jaded. You have to be informed, and you must have a level of charm. So what you have to start doing is going into these places, going into courts from the very beginning, from the very beginning processes. Smile, and again, it's hard. It's hard to say this because it sounds like you're assimilating. But you got to go in with a positive attitude. You got to smile, and you got to be charming. You got to talk to the people that's doing the paperwork. I would even say, that's a dope set of glasses. Like, where'd you get those from? Engage in nonsense conversation so that it shows that you are a human being, that you are a person.
And scriptures tell you be as harmless as a dove, but as cunning as a serpent.
Exactly.
You gotta go in there with it all the time. That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have to do that. Like I was charming. I gauge in conversation. I even complimented a guy's shoes. Like, some dope boots. Where'd you go? Like, so there are things that you got to do to sort of make yourself look like a human, because when you go into the courtroom, you're not a human. You're a docket number. They don't care about your story. You're a docket number, and they're trying to get your money. And child support in New York State is a business. The non-custodial parent who's paying child support also pays an annual fee. All right, automatically. It's not like An automatic fee.
That's what he said. That's what Black Man said
I said
earlier.
at the beginning of the show. Yep.
So,
He did.
so anything, and here's a problem with courts in general. Whenever there's a service like a blind service that has any kind of incentives to it, is no longer blind. It's no longer balanced. It's no longer a balanced scale. And the Bible does say that God detests an imbalanced scale. It's no longer a balanced scale, which means that it's unjust. So once there's incentives involved, like an annual fee for the collection of child support, if the state is collecting child support for you, the non-custodial parent has to pay for that fee. Is no longer a balanced scale, and that's what we got to be wise about.
And you know what? That gives the answer to why it's so heavily weighted on men, because men are going to pay that bread. Exactly. Women are not. So that's why it's heavily scaled. That's why they allow women to use it as a whipping tool on men that don't want to be with them no more in most situations.
And Bolo, guess what? Even when I used to call the caseworker, I used to call her. And they said, leave a message, leave a message, leave a message. The answer machine every time. Then finally, one day I got her. And she said, it's you again? Oh, how can I help you? She said, how can I help you? She said, this stuff is a process. You gotta wait. And I said, ma'am, I'm trying to let you know I changed my address. Oh, okay. What is it? Let me get a pen.
Yep.
And so they really don't care to help the men at all.
But Black Man, she wasn't nasty to you. I've done some and they've been nasty. Because let me say this. I got two things I want to share with you all. On my staff alone, out of 50 employees, about 35 of them men, this past year paid at least 10 child support orders myself.
Oh man.
Now, when your employer is paying your child support order, what is that saying?
That you're not paying it?
Exactly. So I'm not setting that woman isn't setting that man up. We're already in the system. We're already there. And we are refusing to do something. So now I have to do it. Right. I'm saying we cannot get to that point. This cannot happen because as soon as
I have a question about that, because so in New York State, the custodial parent has an option to have the state, because again, the non-custodial parent, they don't have that option. It's up to the custodial parent to say either I want the state to take the money out automatically, or I will have the non-custodial parent pay me directly. So how does that work in your state?
If the non-custodial parent is not doing it, then it's mandatory that the employer does it.
Oh, wow.
It's just
but that's a process that goes. All right, so that's the process.
Like I'll give you the chance first. You can do the enforcement on your own first. You can drop it in the centralized, bank if you like. But if you're not doing that, then I'm going to seek out your employer, and then your employer is going to do it. Yes. So I'm saying to you guys, it's still not working. And then once we start garnishing, they say to me, you can charge them to pay it, don't you?
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, well, it's a process. I don't want to pay anybody's child support. Why am I doing it? Not my child. I don't want to do it. I get angry when I get these orders because I'm saying, why am I doing this, guys?
And in many cities now, especially big cities, there are CBOs that works with the courts to help support specifically non-custodial fathers in the area of child support. Now you have to do your homework to find out.
Yeah.
Like I think it was Bolo you said, or was it Chicago, about creating a database?
Yeah, that was
Bolo, I think. Yeah. Bolo.
That's wise. Like a one-stop shop where people can go to, put in their zip code, say, hey, what resources exist for men, specifically Black men, when it comes to paying child support.
Right. And it was she mentioned that today too. There was a resource for men,
they don't give it.
men.
It's not freely
well,
accessible.
she said it was on the website, so I'm not sure about that, but I was just surprised to hear it. I'd never heard of that before.
You probably got to hit click, delete, shift.
I don't know. But she said,
page to come up.
She told me where it was, but I said, "Wow, are you kidding?" I said, "Are you kidding?" She said, "No, it's there." No, listen. When she said they could do arrangements, it knocked me off my feet. So I'm good with that. But listen, we did a poll today, and the poll is: should more fathers pursue child custody for their children? 83% or 84% says yes, they should, and I agree. Before I would want you all to be in the system and fighting an unruly caseworker or losing your licenses and losing your ability to work, I would want you to pursue actually having your children. I would definitely, because it sounded to me it would be the same battle, just as easy to fight or worth fighting, or more so than having to go through that process and being almost vulnerable to whatever the system says to do, or whatever they do to you, because you've already said if the address isn't correct, now you're vulnerable. If in some states, if the paternity, somebody said it was you, now you're vulnerable.
Don't show up because you got to go to work.
You're vulnerable. Yeah, it's all of that. It's I would prefer you all fight for your kids. So don't leave until you establish something with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave until you establish something with your kids. Don't just leave your kids with her, on a good day thinking it's all going to be good when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're thinking about leaving, and Black Man's sister was the best example of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is.
Yeah. And take notes. Take notes. And if you have like a Google Calendar or whatever, whenever things aren't going right, you notate it on a specific day. This happened at this day. So take notes so that when you go into court, you have a paper trail. Let's say, because this happens a lot, right? A man will be forced to pay child support, but the mother, or reverse, right? It doesn't matter, will keep the child away from the parent and would violate the non-custodial parent's visitation. You have to notate that. You have
Not
to
only
notate
that, not only do that, you get a police report.
That too.
All the police. The police can't do nothing, but it's a police report that they're going to fill out. Not only that, find out in your state if it's a 2-person permission to record. Record everything. It's unfortunate that men have to do this.
And text.
In most situation, text. Don't
call.
Everything. There's certain apps that you can get that will save all receipts, so you don't have to have all this paper. Take pictures. Sometimes you have to go out of your way, but you'll go out your way and stand on that line for them J's. So if this is going to save you a heartache, it's a lot of work in the beginning, but it's going to save you that heartache in the end. It's a lot of heartache, a lot of hoops you got to jump through to establish it. But you have to understand the system. The system is a business. And when it's a business, it's going to be heavily weighted towards those that are going to benefit more. And they benefit more from men because they know women are patient as hell. I've seen, let me tell you something. When women are going to plan to leave, they'll take $1 every year for the next 30 years to get that bread to leave. But dude, this is why they say women are cats and men are dogs. You ever see a cat stalk a bird? Money will take a half hour for one step. And you're like, man, come on, man. I don't got time to watch this. Fast forward. Yeah. So we have to be patient too.
You know what it reminds me of? A couple of weeks ago, I saw a meme that said, why, instead of asking a man, how come you didn't fight hard enough to see a child, ask the mother, why did he have to fight at all? Ooh. Right? And isn't it sad that like we have come to the place where we're trying to school our young brothers on what they need to do to fight to see their kids, right? But I wish, and this is no knock on the ladies on the panel, but I wish there would be more ladies out there that will talk to their sisters and say, why does that man got to fight to see their kids in the first place?
We do, right? but they don't listen. We tell them a whole lot of things. That's why I'm telling the men now, before it even gets like that. We just had the illustration of dog and cat. If you need to turn to be into a cat and sit there and get it right before you walk out the door. But men, I want you to answer this because Daniel Hill says this: if a man is in prison, they still make you pay child support. Where I'm from, I've seen it with my own eyes. I need you all to explain to him this situation because I hear things like this a lot, and there seems to be some sort of disconnect between the child and the support of the child. I'm saying it my way. Y'all say it. Y'all explain to this young man what's going on.
Daniel, if the system is paying for your child, okay, it's a loan, my G. It's a loan. Once they find you, they're taking that bread from you. Now, if they don't find you, God bless you. Once they find you, they're going to say, cool, we gave her $80,000. Now we need that $80,000 from you. I don't care where you were. It was your responsibility to take care of this child. We had to do it. So this is what we're doing. You can be in outer space. working on a meteorite. Your ass get back.
You better have your money.
When you get back from that parade, they're going to sit there and say, my Gino, the men in black will come and take you and say, we need to holler. This is the thing that I want us to take away from this, right? This picture that I'm looking at right now on the screen is so powerful because Harrison family said there should be more ladies saying. Security boss's answer. This is why I like to talk slow, because a lot of the times we gloss over the jewels that are dropped. I've tried to tell the shorties. The shorties ain't listening. So I'm hollering at the dudes. You have the OGs talking to you, bro, because they're letting you know this is what these chicks are doing. That's like the devil coming to you and saying, hey, bro, I'm letting you know I'm going to set you up. Why wouldn't you listen if he's telling you this? So then you can't blame him. Because a lot of the times we mess up and he's playing PlayStation 5 and he ain't do nothing to nobody. And we say it was the devil's fault. And he's like, what did I do? I was on the 3rd level of goddamn Pac-Man. You got to do the work. We got to do the work. And when you have these men and women up here giving this information for free, it's so important, man. Subscribe to these channels that are going to help you and grow you and build you. Not that nonsense that you listen to that pours into your spirit and then you start kicking nonsense. This information is going to grow you because you might make a mistake and get a shorty pregnant that you just don't want. And then you're going to say, I should have listened to that security boss episode about child support.
And you know what, Polo? My grandfather always used to say this. He said, son, the cat dog situation took me back to my grandfather. He said, listen, grandson, he said, you never see a cat on a leash.
Never.
He said the reason for that is because cats move. He said they're very sneaky and they're very good at what they do, and they pounce all day and they watch you all day and they stroll. He said just watch them. They stroll back and forward all day. He said, but a dog lets you know exactly what he's doing, when he's going to do it. He's trying to get off the leash. He's aggressive. He's mean. He's always ready to bite. He said that's the difference between a man winning and a man losing and a woman winning. My grandfather,
grandfather was dropping jewels. There was an episode of Cold Cases when this chick's husband died. He just died of a regular normal death, but the mother knew something was wrong. Years passed, years. So she ran into some senator or something and they had bread. They exonerated the body. The wife was giving this dude arsenic for about 12 years, dog. Dropping like little drops. That's patience, my G. That's the cat.
Bolo, that is a terrible story. Women don't need to be remembered that way. Can you please give us another one? Because
what I'm saying is that we need to start to think more. We need to stop being emotional animals and start being spiritual creatures. We need to start doing the work. We need to stop thinking with our penis and start thinking with our brain. That's what we're saying. You have women up here warning you, telling you go left. Go left. If you go right, you get everything you deserve, G.
Yeah.
Everything that you get, you deserve.
It's like we said, you got to be more, you got to be intentional. Just meaning don't allow life to happen. Don't allow, pick the mother of your child. Pick her, handpick her.
See it through.
It starts with you though, right? It's security boss. And when I say you, meaning me. Before I gotta make sure I'm right. I gotta make sure that I know what my intentions and direction and my focus is, so that when I go out there, I know what type of woman to find. I'm not trying to make a mistake. I'm not guessing. This is the type of woman I want. Period.
There you go.
I'm not gonna play around with these shorty because a condom can break. She can lie to you and tell you she's on, birth control.
Yeah.
Well, or she go into the bathroom and get the substance that she didn't put hot sauce in. And
I was gonna talk about that too.
Here's the thing.
Hot sauce don't work. Go ahead, Chicalarito.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
And then I honestly got to dip off because Booth ain't pulling rank. No, it's not a bad thing.
It's definitely not.
You know, we in a nuptial phase. We're in a nuptial phase right now.
Listen.
But listen, you know, so many young bloods be so anxious to get the coochie, Bolo.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's why it becomes more important for the OGs who've been there, done it. Security boss, I'm not trying to get your channel pulled, and I'm not trying to be offensive to nobody. I'm not sitting up here saying intimacy with a woman is not good. What I am telling young bloods to do is to exercise more discipline, be more intentional, take it for somebody who's been there, done that, and has learned the error of their ways. And if I had it to do all over again, I would have been a 40-year-old virgin. Facts.
And let me say
Facts.
this to you on that. Let me say this to you. Do you understand that sex, when you just go through raw sex, raw emotional sex, right? It's pleasurable, but it's only pleasurable for 45 minutes, an hour and a half. When you have that spiritual sex, where it's mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical, it lasts for years. So you guys are cheating yourself out of just going for just the physical portion. Why do you think you see these old people walking in Walmart and they 88 years old still holding hands?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it wasn't just a sexual thing. Mm-hmm. They connected on a deeper level. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Youngins, slow down, my G. Women are going to be here.
Y'all ain't do the soul tie conversation yet, did y'all?
So who
y'all ain't getting the soul tie. Y'all ain't getting to that yet, did you?
Nah.
All right, I'm gonna ease up. Security boss, I appreciate you. You are absolutely amazingly awesome. You are so needed in this space. I wish I had more to contribute to this conversation.
You do. Listen, Chicago, really, you are an example, and I cannot wait to speak to you on Wednesday about this. You are. We're gonna put you on a T-shirt. We're gonna call it intentional, because we have seen you totally transform in front of our eyes.
Hey, you put me on. Hey, security boss, you put me on the T-shirt. Put simp, beta, put all that.
Guess what? You got a woman that you get ready to go in there and spend your evening with. So I
don't pay no attention to these guys. They don't know how real life is, because they be online talking about, oh, he a simp, he a beta. Man, my woman is very happy. You did.
Very. That's all that matters.
We Gucci over here.
Exactly. Before you go, listen, guys, Chicago really will be with Security Boss on Wednesday night. I think it's 8:00, but y'all gotta come. Y'all gotta come through and hear this. He's the example. He was an unmarried man. Now he's getting all in front of our eyes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations.
That nugget.
So thank you for that.
Hey, security boss, Boothang. Listen, I don't know if I told you, but I know I said it before. Boothang already said, man, stop putting our business out there on the internet. I ain't signed up for this.
Tell Boothang she is an example and a lucky woman. She is a lucky woman. If she doesn't know it, I'm here to tell her she's a lucky woman.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Bolo, we gonna link up, bro.
Yeah, we need to, man. Stop playing phone tag. Baby.
I know. Salud, Sai. I appreciate y'all. Love to all. And I'll holler at y'all Wednesday, all right?
All right, thank you so much.
Salud.
Bye-bye.
You know what, Polo?
Yeah, brother.
I think men should really concentrate on this, because Chicago really had a great point. I think men should, I'm like Chicago, I don't want to get her channel pulled now, but I think men should focus more on pre-nut clarity than post-nut clarity. because what happens is that's what it happens to a lot of men, right? This is a real thing.
We talked about this before. I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Men, you go in and you get that thing, and then right after you like,
You know what movie comes to mind? Remember 40-year-old, not 40-year, something about Mary?
Yes.
Remember when the dude said, "Yo, you've been going on dates and you didn't masturbate?"
Yeah.
You're going into this not even thinking correctly, dog.
Right.
Once you masturbate, your mind is clear, because that's when you sit there and you go, "This chick don't even have teeth."
Oh, right. Wait. No teeth.
And go, yo, this is the chick I left the club with. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're so right. But here's the
Velveteen rub. Go ahead.
We got.
Listen, Stacey Ann says, How many men are really laying with women, asking themselves if that woman will be a good mother? How
Not
many
too
are really doing? Not too
None.
many.
Very few.
None.
Very few.
Men, please start choosing
0.01%.
wisely. 0%.
Bolo
Very
crazy.
few.
That means we just got some issues. So
0.01.
we back to ground zero again, guys. But let me say this for you all. I feel as though that men do listen. Women, my experience with women younger, the more modern generation, women don't listen, but men, I feel like they do. They're intently wanting to be better. I hear it and I see it. So I can say to you guys, continue with your message because younger men will listen to you all. They do. They will.
Well, you know,
But as far as I go, ladies don't listen to women.
now
I'm
we
gonna
need,
head
we
off.
need women.
They say, oh, security boss. You better not say that no more. They coming to get you. I told you,
Oh, yeah,
can't
yeah,
coming to get you. You got
Don't
security.
have me,
You
throw,
are the
don't have me throw down my mic.
Come on. I'm trying to tell you,
Hey guys, I'm gonna head off. I must return to chat, but thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of.
Harrison family, go ahead and shout out your channel before you go. I'm sorry. Go ahead and shout out your channel before you go.
Yeah, Harrison Family Vlogs, YouTube. Look it up. We talk about faith, fatherhood, family, and manhood. Yeah, we live usually every Tuesday, and on occasion throughout the week. So if you guys want, no pressure, come by, check us out. And if you want to join the Harrison Extended Family, hit that subscribe button.
I just subscribe, bro.
I will subscribe.
Thank you guys. I'll be in the chat.
And listen, guys, I am in the need of about 16 new subs. Go ahead and do that for me, and I'll be at a new goal of 1,800. So if anybody is in the chat that is not,
we get we ain't gonna do it like that. Hold on.
Give me a commercial, Big man. Man, go ahead and do it.
No.
Okay,
Ladies, no. Let me get myself together.
Bring Black man's face up to the forefront. Can you do that?
Hold on, Black man. Let me get you in the right position.
On this.
Wait one second. Let's get it together. Y'all know we've been struggle streaming today. All right, Black man, here you go. Hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I just want to give a disclaimer. And the disclaimer is if you're watching this right now and you see this beautiful woman with this platform that has a king in the background, and she's sitting here looking at you guys and talking to you guys, smiling. She's a woman of faith. She's a woman of good talk. She's very eloquent in the way that she speaks, the way she carries herself. She's unsolicited security boss. And if you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the subscribe button, then you eating for free. This woman ain't asking you for no $1,000. Maybe you can send her $50, but right now she's asking you for some subscriptions. She needs 25. Matter of fact, how many people watching right now? I don't know the number, but I need you guys right now to hit the subscribe button because you ain't doing nothing else but watching her smile, watching this eloquent woman work. And when she's working, this woman she has a goal and she needs to meet that goal. And you're going to help her meet this goal tonight. So I need all of you tonight to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It don't take nothing for you to go over to the left side of your screen, the right side of your screen, depending on what phone you have, and hit the subscribe button. Go down there. There's a thumb down there, and the thumb is all white. You can make it color by hitting the like button. She needs the likes buttons for the algorithms. She needs the subscriptions to go ahead and continue to build because this time next year, she needs to be at 25,000 subscribers. She's doing the work. Hit the subscribe button. And if you're not and you eating for free, this place right here that you eating for free at, this ain't no government assistance subscriptions. We need you guys to work right now and hit the subscription. It don't cost you nothing. Stop being lazy and hit that subscribe button tonight. You better be glad I don't have my organ because I would have preached to you. I do have it, but I ain't gonna do it for you today. Matter of fact, hold on. P.S. You see this lovely shirt she got on today? Look at her. She's glowing. She got her hair down over the shirt is glowing. Her husband's in the background. Look at. He had to look at this every day. Look at her. She ain't never going away. She's beautiful, eloquent. Guys, hit the subscribe button. This is the woman you need to listen to.
I love it. Thank you so much, Black man. Thank you. Bolo,
stop listening to hold on. I ain't done. Stop listen here. You know what? Stop listening. Stop subscribing and listening to Tasha K and come this way. You hear me? Hit the subscribe button.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Stop listening to all these other women out here talking about men ain't nothing and deleting black men and all this stuff, and come over here with a real woman that's gonna teach you about marriage.
Amen to that.
Come on, somebody. Touch your neighbor and tell your neighbor that we need some subscriptions tonight. Come on, somebody. Tell your neighbor.
All right, my man. That was perfect. That was perfect. I couldn't have done it better. Thank you so much. Are you feeling something?
I'm upset because they didn't get to subscribe.
Okay. If I had a cape, I would put it over you, but it's okay. We got it. Don't worry about it. Okay. So Bolo, you were getting ready to say something. Y'all too funny. Bolo, can you come behind that? I mean, really?
No,
what are you getting ready to say?
I'm not going to even try. He got the stage. No. I'm on a different. I'm going to perform on a different date. Okay. What I'm going to say is this, man. You know what's so important is that you have women up here holding each other accountable.
Yes.
And all over the the YouTube streets, where are the women that are holding women accountable? You have two here. So you have to support. You have to support the things that you cry for. So often we say we need change, right? And the thing is, you need to be that change that you want to see. So if you see people up here doing and saying what you think needs to be done, what we know needs to be done, you need to support. We're not asking for money. We're asking you to hit a damn thumb.
Come on.
That's all we ask. It's not a lot, because you know what happens? This message gets out to more people. And then you have more like minds that come together. And that's where that village starts. And that's where that community is built. So we're not supposed to keep this to ourselves. This is not our information. This belongs to the world. This is what our jobs are. We're supposed to go out into the world and be that guiding light. So hit the thing. We're not asking you to start your own channel. Black man is not asking you. Amateur barkeep ain't. Security boss isn't. And I'm not. All we're saying to you is, if you like what we're doing, if you like what Security Boss is doing, and this information needs to get out. This is truth being told. Just giving it to you raw dog. No chaser.
Come on.
Hit the like, man. Hit the like. You want to support all this nonsense that happens? Support the truth.
Come on.
Listen, y'all already know. Thank you so much for that. But again, hit the thumbs up as you come in, and definitely subscribe to the channel. We do have some goals to meet, and I appreciate anything you decide to do, because it is for free. So listen, we're going to have the link. Nope. This is the end of the show, guys. We've been here for over 2 hours. Unless you all, I'm going to let each one of you go ahead, and Bolo, definitely shout out your channel. I don't think I ever let you shout out your channel, but don't take it personal. I just think everybody knows you. I take you for granted. Forgive me. Forgive me. I'm gonna let each one of you shout out your channel, and go ahead, and we're gonna call it a night. Black man, you go ahead, because I know you're trying to reach some goals also, and you got my support. And I want to talk to your sister. So I know she's watching, and I appreciate you so much for watching. I hope you subscribe and definitely come up, because we love you and we're not gonna hurt you over here.
Yeah, I love her.
So go ahead, Bolo. Go ahead, Black man.
Well, see, I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it. I ain't gonna take this. I'm gonna shout mine out in 10 seconds. I'm gonna take my other 15 seconds to shout you out, because this is amazing. So, guys, listen. I'm on Black Men Unfiltered. I'm on Black Men Unfiltered Network. Type it in your search engine. You're gonna see my face come up like this. I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit it tonight, because I have goals as well. Listen, this black community. Let me get back over here on Unsolicited. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is how I like it. So listen here tonight.
No, you didn't.
We need y'all over here with Unsolicited Security Boss. She needs about 20 subscriptions tonight.
Oh my God.
On here right now in the comments, I need you to hit that subscribe button. We ain't playing with you tonight. Now,
Black man,
I had to do it. I had to do it, because these people out here, we need to in this community. It's so amazing to me to see Joe Rogan has 74 million subscribers, and we sitting up here asking people to give us 1,000. And we're talking the truth.
Does he really have 74 million subscribers?
Man, look, it's somewhere like that. You need to go look it up.
Wow.
He's the number one podcast in the world. Yeah, he's the number one guy. So my thing is this. I think that we should support each other as a community, especially the black community. And when you're hearing truth, stop subscribing to trash and start subscribing to truth. Oh, I like that. That's a t-shirt. Yep. Stop subscribing to trash and subscribe to truth. You got people out here, Unsolicited Security Boss. You got Sir Hell Speaks. You got Jedi Mike out here. You got Black Men Unfiltered. You got Bolo TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got people out here that are speaking truth. And you know what? Every platform is going to give you something a little different. Unsolicited, she keeps it so eloquent. I keep it raw over there where I'm at. Bolo keeps it spiritual and raw over there where he at. Because if you make Bolo mad, you're going to get a couple of them cuss words after that scripture.
Yeah, he do, don't he? I hear him.
What did you hear?
Come on.
I be having I be having to pray for him sometimes.
I heard Bolo one night said, "Listen, guys, we got to put on the whole armor." You know that little voice. Oh, he got that voice for the ladies. That Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Listen here, guys. Listen. We got to get it together. And watch this. We got to put on the whole armor of God and let nothing separate us from it. Your asses are not listening.
I did say that probably. I did. That sounds like
I believe you did.
But no, I love each and every one of you, man. And I want you guys to support Unsolicited Security Boss and get her where she needs to be. And her husband, shout out to him. He got all these camera angles. I wish he hit 3 of them right now so he can show y'all what kind of power he got in the back. You can see her forehead, her side head, her shirt, her fingers, her chin, her back. She got everything. Come on. Hey.
Sir Hell Speaks. Thank you for your super chat. $9.99. This is a great platform. Subscribe. Yeah, we got to get
Emma. Got a great channel.
We got to get her shoulders moving. She
Hey, you know what? I am so sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
What?
I did not pick a shout out to my girl that's on the panel, Amateur Barkeeps. This is ridiculous. That's my fault.
It's very ridiculous now that I'm thinking about it.
You know, I am so sorry. This woman here. Hold on. I got something for you too. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Here we go. Let me go back. I can't do it. See, listen tonight. This woman here, she's not for anything but barkeeps. So I want you to go to her page right now, Amateur Barkeep on YouTube, and I want you to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button tonight.
But wait a minute. Let's just keep it all the way real. Now, the name is Amateur Barkeep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You got the organ going.
Uh-huh.
Sounds a little spiritual.
Oh, you need something else.
Amateur Barkeep, she's into the spirits.
Hold on. No.
We might need a little bit more.
That's perfect. Watch this.
We might need a little bit more.
See, there's something about a spirit. Jesus was at this party one night, and they ran out of liquor in there.
There you go.
And Mary came over to Jesus and said, "We ran out of liquor."
So
Jesus looked at his mama and he said, "Woman, bring me them empty barrels." Jesus touched every one of them. You know what happened next? Amateur Barkeep came in and she stood by Jesus and he turned that water into wine. And the whole party had a little sip with a little drip.
There you go.
Over and subscribe
to Amateur Barkeep. There you go. That's how you got to do it.
I love it.
Touch your neighbor and tell your neighbor tips it for the Lord.
That's right. Y'all are too funny. Amateur Barkeep, I hope you enjoyed your evening with us, and I hope you can come back sometime soon. We're gonna get a little bit more in your, we talk marriage and divorce and stuff like that all the time. I know that's more of your, your area of expertise, but I appreciate you so much for being here. Chat, I love the engagement. I love the super chats. I'm glad you all are here. Corey, Fam Fave, Sir Hell, great. 2 Cents Uncensored. I love the comments. I've been watching. Thank you guys for coming. Bolo, Unfiltered.
Yes. Sir.
Love you guys.
I love you too.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to see y'all soon. Have a good night.
Thanks. Y'all have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.